Hi babes, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about my personal favorite summer reads and what I would recommend to you guys to read in the summer, in light of summer being, I think, next week. Also, it is the only nice day out this week. So far, it's been rainy and gross, so I'm feeling the summer vibes. I'm feeling the sunshine through my windows, if you couldn't tell. I have a huge stack of books here. I don't even want to count how many there are, but some of them are series or by the same author. Let's just get started on this. The first book I have is The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. We're starting with a bang. I love this book. I actually got this edition for Christmas one year. It follows Achilles and Patroclus. I think it's mainly from Patroclus's point of view, and you can see them growing up together and how their relationship forms. It's a Greek mythology retelling, so it's a retelling of their story, but from the perspective of them being lovers instead of like best friends or like having a brotherly bond. They're lovers. The writing is just so beautiful. I don't even think I cried at the end. I think I just sat there and stared at the wall because I was like, I felt empty, if that makes sense. So that's what this book is about. Moving on, I read this book, I think around this time last year. No, I read it in July last year. That's a lie. And I don't know if it's a summer setting where the book takes place, but because I read it in summer and it was such a good book to read at that point, I'm including it. The Last Word by Taylor Adams. I ate this book up. I think it took me 2 to 3 days to finish this. I read it while I was on vacation with Sam last year in Florida, and I was not expecting it to be as good as it was. So basically, Emma goes away and stays at this cottage. She just needs time away. She just needs a break from her life. So she goes and stays at this cottage, and while she's staying there, she reads a mystery book, some kind of murder mystery book by this author that was recommended to her by her neighbor. She didn't like it, so she left a negative review of the book online, and the author started messaging her and kind of making threats, and then it just progressed from there. The threats turned into the author showing up where she was and kind of stalking her. It's a very fast-paced book. That's why I liked it so much, and I read it in the summer. So I feel like it's a perfect like summer beach read if you're into mysteries. But that's my personal opinion, and again, I haven't read mysteries that much. Moving on, we have Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. I read this on the same vacation as The Last Word, and it was so good. It was so good. I also have Every Summer After by Carly Fortune in this pile, and these books, according to many people, are basically the same thing. Like if you read one, you're reading the other. But I read both of them, and I think that there are some minor and major differences between them, but they do follow the same sort of plot line. So they both follow the plot line of childhood best friends. Each of the female main characters has a summer house that they go to, and the best friends live in the house next door, and they grow up with these people. Then things fall out, and you get to see it from the past and present perspective. So you get to see like them years later reuniting and figuring out how to go about the relationship and getting back together. But it's just, both of these made me cry. Both of these made me feel like I was staying at a lake, and I loved both of them. So that's why they're on the list. This one made me sob. Ball. Lizzie and Dante by Mary Blee. I read this also last year. It tore me apart. It ripped me in half. I don't even, like, I'm pretty sure I rated it a 5-star. It was so good. It is about, obviously, Lizzie and Dante, and Lizzie gets a diagnosis. After she gets her diagnosis, she decides that she wants to spend her summer in Italy, where she meets Dante and Dante's daughter. And Dante and Lizzie form a kind of bond. Lizzie forms a bond with the daughter, and they kind of just have a nice summer fling. It's a very good book. It will break your heart. It will tear you to shreds. I recommend it. Also, Is it not summer vibes? The next 3 books are part of a series, and that is the Knock 'Em Out series. The whole series follows 3 brothers. So each brother gets their own book. This one's about Naomi and Knox. Naomi has a twin sister. Her twin sister's kind of just like non-existent in her life. She ran away from her wedding. She goes to Knock 'Em Out, meets her sister, and meets her niece that she's never met before. Then her sister drives off and leaves Naomi with the kid. She meets Knox, obviously. He kind of helps her out. He gives her a place to stay. She's not staying in the same house as him, but she's staying next door to him. They form a fun little relationship and bond throughout the time that she's staying there. And it was just so good. I really liked it. I thought it was amazing. Things We Hide from the Light. This is about Lena and Nash. Nash is Knox's brother, but she moves in to an apartment and she ends up forming this bond with Nash. They have kind of a trauma bond because Nash was shot at the end of the first book. He's dealing with a lot of trauma and she helps him through that trauma, and they just form a bond based on that. So is it a trauma bond? Kind of. And the last book is the book that literally everyone was waiting for. We get Suit Daddy in this book. This is about Lucian Rollins and Sloane. Lucian is the boy's best friend. Sloane is one of Lucian's childhood best friends, but also neighbor. She was also his neighbor. It's like second chance, kind of. He's a really fancy rich guy. And Sloane is a librarian, and he has always cared for her. She's always cared for him, but they also seem like enemies. Like the way that they act towards each other is like they hate each other. Basically, the bickering throughout the entire series continues in this book, and eventually it leads to them being together. And that's what we love to see. We love to see. I think maybe I'll reread it this summer, refresh my memory on it, and also experience Knock 'Em Out again because I miss that universe. The next one is Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. It looks like summer. Therefore, it is summer. It's about a family that lives in Malibu and they're throwing a summer bash, like big summer party. It follows them throughout the day of the party, but it also kind of like goes to the past, talks about their childhood and what they experienced. Then it goes to the present, which is the day of the party, and it shows you the entire day, how it goes, and how everything goes to complete shit. I very much enjoyed it. I think this was so fun. This was such a fun read. Really quick and easy too. The last 4 books are by the same author, so I'm just including every single one of her books. No matter what one you pick up, no matter what it's about, it's gonna give you summer vibes. I haven't read this one, but based on the fact that all of her other books are about summer or give summer vibes, I feel as though this might be a summer book, but I haven't read it, so I can't tell you much about it. First book we'll talk about is Happy Place. It's about Harriet and Wynne, and they were previously together. They had been together since I think college. They end up going on this vacation with all of their friends. So they didn't tell their friends that they were broken up, and they just go on this vacation together and pretend to be together, and you get to see, it's, I believe, all from Harriet's perspective, which is great, but you also get to see like how she felt in the past and how she's feeling currently in the present because of the breakup, and now she's stuck staying in the same room as this man that she used to date and going on this trip and hanging out with her friends who all think that they're dating, and they have to fake date essentially, which obviously leads to real dating. It was a very interesting read. I think it's set in Maine. It's set in Maine. Her friend has a cottage up in Maine, and that's the happy place that they go to. It's her happy place. I also have Beach Read, which was the first book I ever picked up when I was getting back into reading. I also don't know if you can see that, but there's tabs. This one's about Gus and January. They went to college together. They were academic rivals, essentially. And Gus made it seem like he hated January. Then January moves to this small little town. She doesn't move there. She acquires a house through her father's passing that he used to stay in with his lover. She goes there so she can sell the house. So she wants to get rid of everything and sell the house. And you get to see through her perspective everything that she's going through. You can tell she's going through it. Her neighbor is none other than Gus Everett, who is her academic rival. So she has to live next to this man that she hates. and also deal with all of these emotions that she's dealing with. They decide to switch genres. So Gus writes literary fiction and January writes women's fiction. So they decide to switch genres, kind of compete to see who can write the best book. And it was honestly a very interesting plot line. I very much enjoyed this book. And the last book of this video is People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. This is about two best friends who make a pact every single year to go on vacation together. So every summer for a decade, they go on a vacation together. But after this decade, something happens and they end up kind of distancing from each other, but they meet up again and end up again on vacation together. It goes to the past where you can see their vacations previously, what they did, who they met, and how they felt about each other. And then it comes to the present perspective where you see them dealing with this gap between their friendship that they want to close because they miss each other, but based on the time away, it's a very difficult kind of situation because they don't really know how to close that gap. But this one was so good. That's the completed video. These are all of my summer reading recommendations. I tried to include many different genres, but it's also very difficult when I only read romance up until maybe a couple months ago. I'm sorry. I apologize if you wanted more than just romance. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe. And if you have any other summer recommendations for me or for anyone, leave them in the comments below. And I will see you in the next video very soon. Bye!